Hello friends, Adam here with FED. So today I want to talk about another build that you can do in Three Houses that a lot of people talk about, and most people probably know how to do it, but I'm sure there are a few people out there that aren't necessarily sure how to go about making it. And that is an extremely high evasion build. Very easily you can get over, over 100 evasion with relative ease. And it's definitely worth doing, especially on Maddening, where, like, if we go look at these enemies, they have like 107 hit here, 104 hit here. That's basically what you see. The boss has 108 hit. This is just like a side quest battle. In about, I think chapter 14 is where we're at. So, yeah, being able to dodge things is basically your only way of not. I don't know, tanking isn't very reliable unless you have stupid high defense, which most of your units just don't. So dodging is really the most viable way to not take a bunch of damage. It's hard. It's just hard to have high protection. The other options are using like impregnable wall, a guard adjutant can help, but honestly, dodging and just not getting hit at all is great, right? So let's talk about how we do that, and it really just comes down to all these different inventory things, and we're gonna go through each one. First thing, super easy. Hopefully, I don't know if I have one. I do have one. Evasion range, just plus 10 evade. Might as well have it, right? Plus 10 evade, that's awesome. And then let's go through the class path. Guys, actually, next we'll just do battalions. We're going to do easy things first. So it's just like that item, battalions. You want a high evade battalion. You just press X until evade pops up as it's sorted by. The best one I have right now, and it might be the best one in the game, I'm not sure, someone correct me. Someone tell me what the actual best one is. 15 I think is the highest I've seen. The Immortal Core, which you can only get on Golden Deer unless you're playing New Game Plus, gives 15 evade, but if you don't have that laying around, which again you only do if you're playing Golden Deer, the Galatea Pegasus Company, which you can get by doing the Paralog, the Ingrid Dorothea Paralog, I believe. So relatively easy to get to. You just need to have, and you need Ingrid on your team. So you just need Ingrid on your team, and you can get this Paralog, and you get this amazing battalion. Look at those protection and resilience stats. Really, really good. Someone, again, correct me if I'm wrong on that too. I don't know. That could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they are. That's how you get it. And also, if you level up the Secret Transport Force, it might be better. I just don't know. And that's only flying classes, so let's look at not flying classes. Early game, Gerald's Mercenaries is your best bet with 15. And then you have like yeah, that's what I thought. Your Galatea Knights, you can get like plus 20 for grounded units and stuff like that. But this guide is specifically focused on flying, because that is your best way to have high avoid. So the Galatea Pegasus Knights or the Immortal Core for your flyers is the best way to get high avoid. Now let's go talk about classes that you're going to want to go through to get skills that you need. So you're definitely going to want to focus flying for alert stance. So that means once you get to intermediate, you're probably going to go Pegasus Knight, advanced maybe Wyvern Lord, and then of course maybe, and then like you'll want to end up in Falcon Knight or Wyvern Lord instead of a rounded class because of the plus 10 avoid that their classes give. All flying classes just get plus 10 avoid because they said so, because the classes weren't good enough already. But after Commoner or Noble, generally, I don't know, you're probably going to go in, because you're probably working on Lances if you're a female, or Axes if you're a male to get into Wyvern, Rider, or Pegasus Knight. So it really doesn't matter which beginner class you pick. For the purpose of this video, I do have plus 2 speed on my Byleth to showcase the avoid. Because the avoid stat, the base of it, is your attack speed. It's literally just your attack speed. So my Byleth has 33 attack speed right now with the Silver Lance equipped, which means base 33 avoid, right? So just plus 2 speed can help with that. But your beginner class isn't super important, essentially, is what I'm saying. Intermediate, if you want to be dodgy right away, you definitely want to throw yourself into Pegasus Knight for that plus 10 avoid from level 10 onwards. You can have that. But you can also get Darting Blow if you want. That's essentially 6 extra avoid. on player phase. It doesn't affect your enemy phase, which this build that I'm talking about today is more focused on, but it's definitely an option. And then you'll probably, and then from there, it doesn't really matter what you do as long as you end your like ending class for your high evasion is either Falcon Knight or Wyvern Lord. I understand males don't have access to Falcon Knight, but Falcon Knight is slightly better for your evade builds just because it has a higher speed modifier. Something to consider. As far as his abilities, this is where it gets interesting. And most of these abilities you don't learn from classes. The only two of them that I have here you do. I have Define Evade, which you learn from Falcon Knight. You master Falcon Knight, you get Define Evade. And Speed +2, which I said doesn't really matter. This could totally be traded with, like, I don't know, like Lance Fair, if you want to do that. Lance Crit. If you want to do something like Darting Blow or Death Blow. Anything like that. Or if you want just like a different breaker as well, maybe you want to also have like Axe Breaker, also have Lance Breaker equipped just in case. Things like that. But must-haves are Alert Stance Plus, which you just get by training Flying Rank, which is, you know, you're probably doing that anyways if you want a high evasion build, because Flying is the best evasion classes. Sword Breaker, just because a breaker skill, it's +20 avoid. And then Lance Prowess is huge. Just so whatever prowess skill you're going to be using, whatever weapon you're going to be using, here I have Lances, because that's another +15, right? So Alert Stance you get +30, and then if you're fighting a sword user, another +20, and then a +15 from Lance Prowess. So that right there, if everything works out, even actually let's take out Sword Breaker because that's not going to happen all the time. But just Alert Stance Plus and Lance Prowess, that's 45 right there. And then if you get under 25% HP, which isn't that hard to do on Maddening, you are sitting pretty with another +30 avoid. And that is, you know, +80 avoid is no joke. 85 avoid. That's pretty sick. And then Speed +2 is essentially +2 avoid. But it also helps you double things, which is cool. And then Sword Breaker, of course, I already talked about. Again, you could do other things. If you want to be not a flying class, you're going to want to do something like, you know, Brawling Prowess, Brawl Avoid, I don't know, Speed +2 is fine. If you can get Divine Avoid, great. That works. You probably want Tome Breaker. And then, I don't know, if you can get Alert Stance, great. If you probably can't, though, Weight -5 would be great. Just something along those lines. Or at this point, you could even just do, like, Death Blow. If you want to do, like, a Brawling Evade build. Which you get Brawling Evade by going to War Monk or War Cleric. Death Blow you get from mastering Brigand. Tome Breaker is just a high rank in Brawling. So this would be like a Brawling build. And then the other really popular one, actually there's two more I want to go over. Two more that I want to go over, actually. Really popular ones. So you'd want Faith level 5 for this one. White Magic Avoid. Only 2 characters have access to White Magic Avoid, being Violet and Dorothea. Unless, if there's another one, let me know. I'm just forgetting. You probably want, again, if you can have Define Evade, that's great, but you probably aren't going to in the New Game Plus playthrough. So something like, I don't know, Death Blow, Darting Blow, Axe Breaker can be great in this build. Not Axe Breaker, whoops. I don't know, something breaker. Actually, there's no breakers for the benefit magic classes, huh? But really, this is essentially all you need for White Magic Avoid. And like for a White Magic Avoid build, like if you equip Heal, has 0 weight, that's your full AS plus the Faith level 5 of, you know, 20 Avoid. And then White Magic Avoid plus 20 is another 20, so 40. It's just really good. Really good and somewhat reliable. You can even do it with like Nosferatu if you want an even better chance of dodging things. And then last one I want to talk about is probably the most popular one that I see talked about. It's not the easiest one or even the most accessible, but it's probably the most Oh, it's the most talked about, and I can't fully show it off here right now. But anyways, it involves sword. It would be like sword prowess, sword avoid, which you get from the dancer class, which I don't have here. But if you certify into dancer by winning the competition, then you just automatically get sword avoid plus 20. So it'd be another plus 20, and then I'd probably do something like speed plus 2. Maybe like Defiant Evade if I did a female unit on it. And I don't know, maybe alert again. If I did do a female, and you know you have Defiant Evade, you probably have alert stance, and that would be a pretty sick build. But if you're a male unit, say like Ferdinand is a really good example of this, or Dimitri post time skip is a really good example of this, because of their personal skills. Confidence grants HP and evade, hit and evade plus 50 when unit is at full HP. So if you were going to do that, you'd probably want like sword prowess level 5, and then sword avoid, maybe speed plus 2. You can't get Defiant Evade. If you can, you definitely want to slap on an alert stance. Not wait, minus 5. Whoops. An alert stance. I would even go so far as to throw like Axe Breaker on there, just like really specialized and be able to deal with axe units and stuff. And then yeah, something along those lines. That's really good. Again, that's really good on Dimitri and Ferdinand in particular. But that can work for just about anyone with high speed. Someone like Yuri or Felix, Leone made great uses of that kind of build as well. So yeah, those are my thoughts on high evasion builds. Let me put together the one I had planned really quick to show off here. I think these like high evasion builds can be a lot of fun, and I don't know. I think they're relatively effective for high level play if you want to. Especially if you do like some crazy combos with like the sword avoid one from Dancer on Dimitri is especially potent because of Battalion Wrath and Battalion Vantage, that he gets that super combo. But if you just want to like, you can pretty much make anyone do this and have really high evade. It's like just base 78 evade right here. We're getting, you know, 10 from the evasion ring, plus 10 evade from the class, Lance Prowess level 5, the Galatea Pegasus Company, and that's not even counting what we're gonna get from alert stance for the enemy phase, Defiant Evade if we go under 25%, and then Sword Break when we're fighting a sword enemy. So ultimately, you just dominate everybody.
What's my strategy?
We're just gonna go right here. Let's put on like a Steel Lance. And wait. And they aren't going to be able to hit us. Granted, this Byleth is very strong, very overpowered for this point in the game. But it doesn't change the fact that this is like an endgame viable strat. It helps out all these guys have swords, which is why I chose to show it off this way. But with some careful placing and planning, you can really work this out. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Like the video as well. We do Fire Emblem content almost every day here on the channel. And don't miss tonight's live stream where we will be continuing our Crimson Flower Iron Man. We're moving on to Chapter 6, so it's actually kind of awesome. We're making some good headway. Actually, never mind. We're moving on to Chapter 7. We just did Chapter 6. Moving on to Chapter 7, making some good headway. So it's time for the battle of the Eagle and Lion, which is a scary one, but it's also sort of relaxed because as long as my two main characters don't die, we are good to go. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time, friends.